Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're Wednesday, middle of the week, here to talk about God, right? Continuing on our journey through Job and appreciating what we have, hopefully, as we go through it. Hi, my name is Stuart Davis. I'm a flawed man of God, deacon at a small church just outside of Richmond, Virginia. Not a pastor, not a biblical scholar, and I haven't been to seminary. Not trying to get you to join my church or donate to any special cause. Just here to talk about God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, talk about the Bible, talk about Christianity, talk about a wide variety of topics, issues, and current events, and give you my perspective on them, one that I think is reflective of your average Christian guy. I've been a Christian all my life, 40 years, non-denominational Protestant. I don't subscribe to any particular doctrine or denomination. I'm just in the Word daily, trying to do it better each and every day. Some days I'll do it right. Many days I'll get it wrong. But no matter what, if I am streaming here, you are going to get my honest takes on whatever it is that we're discussing. So, if you are somebody who is interested in learning more about Jesus, searching for meaning, maybe there's a voice in the back of your mind wondering if there's more to your existence than just your life here on earth, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. Hopefully, you were able to find what you need. Get some sort of start in your faith journey, in your path to salvation. Maybe it be the one of the first steps you take. Hopefully this very casual, very relaxed atmosphere will be exactly what it is you need and get you started in the right direction. I am just a layperson. Like I said, I am not a professional at this. So I can get you started. I can talk about the Bible. I can talk about this stuff as much as I can. But in the end of the day, I'm just the guy sitting in the pew next to you listening to the sermon. And I'm just giving you what I've gotten out of 40 years of listening to those sermons. So please tune in, learn what you can, but don't stop with me. Don't stop with me. Go mature in your faith and find more and grow in that way. If you are already a Christian and you just enjoy Christian topics and discussions, welcome as well. Glad to have you here. We run this very similar to a Wednesday night study group or a Sunday school. Like I said, nice, casual, open. We want you to give us your opinions. With that said, no matter where you land, whether if you are just looking to learn more about Christianity, or if you've been a Christian longer than me, know more about the Bible than me, and just overall smarter than me, does not matter. Get in that chat. Chat's great. Chat makes this show better. There is a bunch of dudes. It's been mostly guys recently, right? Mostly guys, but a great group of folks who tune in and night out, who give us a great amount of insight. Talk about how their experiences line up with what we're discussing, and overall ask questions, whatever it may be. Content is content, and this community is small enough that if you type something in that chat, I'll respond to it. So without further ado, because we are on a bit of a time crunch tonight, because I'm going to be on another show starting at 9:30. Be on another show starting at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. The name of that channel is High Trust, Low Context with El Chaco. If you are in the Discord, I've already sent the link for you guys. I encourage you to come and show up. It'll be an extension of this. And we won't be talking about Job. We'll be talking about faith perspectives. Mr. Chaco is a Catholic. We have differing opinions on church structure, but overall agree on many things. He's a good dude. Been friends with him for a while, and I'm glad to see that he is back to making content. He was originally in a podcast called Here's What I Don't Get. It's one of the many spin-offs from the Dick Show fan club, which was a spin-off of the Biggest Problem in the Universe. So probably don't hear mere keyboard mouse clips. You might hear the ice in my drink. But let me check and see what the sound is doing. Audio. No, I'm audioing the way I'm supposed to. I'm just hydrating in a rude fashion. I haven't changed any settings, not that I'm aware of. So I'll just does it sound better now? I don't know. Guys, I don't have a fancy headset. It's got a plug, it's got a mute button, and it's got speakers. That's it. That's it. um this is a very, like I said, guys, this is a very low budget. This is a very low budget outfit. Like I don't low budget, low effort. Instead of high trust, low context, you can call this show low budget, low effort. I'm sure there's a equalizer that I've got some sort of plugin somewhere or software that goes along with this. I haven't messed with it. So, anyways, so I'm going to be on that show. I want to low budget, maybe no budget. There's some budget. I mean, I pay for StreamYards. I paid for the camera. My wife got me the hat. I enjoy that. All right, so we'll get right into it because we're only going to at 9:15, which is in about a half hour. I'm going to cut the show loose. And that's okay, Matt. Welcome, Matt and Veritax. By the way, it's okay. But I'm going to cut the show loose at about 9:15 so I can get ready for the next show. And like I said, join me over there. All right, so let's get into the maybe skip the Job intro. Maybe we'll do a real quick. Job has lots of things, lots of kids. He's very rich, but he's also very righteous. God puts him up as an example to Satan. Satan asks to tempt him, or Satan basically challenges that and says, if you take all that away, he will curse God. So God says, you can do that. Just try. Test my man. And so he does. He kills his kids and takes away all of his possessions. Job remains faithful. So God says, look what happened. Guess it didn't work out the way you planned. So Satan goes, yeah, but I didn't do anything to the guy. And he goes, okay, well, just don't kill him. So Satan torments him with disease, suffering, physical suffering, mental anguish from, I don't think he's getting much sleep. I think he's having night terrors, lots of visions, and very uncomfortable skin disease. His wife sees him in such a miserable state, gives up, says, curse God and die. And Job calls her basically foolish woman and stays faithful. But he needs time to himself. So he goes and spends some time on his own. His friends come up. They spend some time in silence with him. And then Job, unable to keep silent anymore, after about a week, which is a long time to build up that emotion, he starts talking about how upset he is that he is in the state that he is, and he wishes he was in no state at all. He wishes he was dead. He cursed the day that he was conceived. He said he should have been killed in the womb. And he says a bunch of other stuff. He doesn't know why this is happening. Now, in turn, each of his friends so far, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar have said their piece. And it hasn't been nice things. It has been either sarcasm or patronizing and all of it has been accusatory. If you've had this stuff done to you, clearly you've done something to tick God off. Clearly you have done something wicked, and you need to fess up. You need to repent. You need to do this. But none of these folks have actually done the digging or even asked him, what did you do? Have you done anything? Because Job is adamant that he hasn't done anything. And as we know, as the readers, he hasn't. Job is being put up as an example. He's been tested to see the limits that man can take. And Job is pretty much at the end of his rope, but he's hanging on. He's hanging on. And we should be looking at him as the example and understand that if we were in his shoes, we very well might not be handling it the way that he's handling it. And it's been very depressing over these last few chapters, hearing what's coming from Job, hearing what his friends have to say about him. But we understand, understanding what has happened to Job, you understand why he is in the state that he is in. He hasn't lost his faith, but he is at a loss for why. Because Job doesn't know why he's in the position that he's in. His friends clearly don't either. And some of them have been visited by demons. Eliphaz talking about some spirit coming to visit him. And that spirit sounds a lot like Satan. But this is the kind of company that's around him right now. So we're going to start off tonight with chapters 12 and 13, and Job, who has heard from all of his friends, and what we feel like is he's being put on trial by his friends, and each one acting like a prosecutor, hurling accusations at him. He's answered them each in kind, but now he's going to talk about them as a group. And there we have it. Base Catholic, welcome to the chat, sir. Glad to see you, one of our brother papists in the chat. I don't think we have any regular viewers who are of the Catholic tradition. So it's glad to have you here, and hope you like what you see and stick around a bit. Blameless, indeed. Job is blameless. Yet he's getting blamed for many very, very what is it? Nefarious implications. Because of the implication. Clearly he did something because of the implication. All right, so without further ado, let's get into scripture. All right, we're going to be reading from Job chapter 12 tonight and 13. Using the Amplified Bible on Bible Gateway. Job chides his accusers. Then Job responded. Again, everybody's had their piece. Then Job responded, "No doubt, you are the only wise people in the world, and wisdom will die with you. But I have intelligence and understanding as well as you. I am not inferior to you. Who does not know such things as these of God's wisdom and might? Am I a joke to my friends? I, one whom God answered when he called upon him? A just and blameless man is a joke, and laughed to scorn. He who is at ease has contempt for misfortune, but misfortune is ready and anxiously waiting for those whose feet slip. The tents of the destroyers prosper, and those who provoke God are apparently secure, whom God brings into their power." Job's mad. Job mad. And, who wouldn't be? Again, he's gone through incredible trauma. incredible loss. He is depressed. He is in pain, mentally, physically, spiritually in pain. His spirit, that his faith, and we're not talking about spiritually in the fact that he is losing his faith, but the fact that he doesn't know why his creator, why God has allowed this misfortune to befall him in such a absolute way. It's pain. It's pain. And now his friends, I mean, you could add this on top of things, right? The things that Satan's doing to him. He's basically taking away his friends as well as a result of all this. And now his friends have done more than just abandon him. Somebody brought it up in the chat earlier. Middle Eastern hospitality, very similar to Southern hospitality. Somebody would have taken him in, but nobody did because they were afraid of what it meant and what it might bring on them. So they didn't. They came and visited him. They're spending time with him. But once he opens his mouth and starts talking about how he doesn't understand why this has happened, they've all got an opinion on why, and they all make sure they share it. And it's not constructive. It's not helpful. And it's full of distrust and contempt. And so, oh, you guys have given me all your theories and your opinions couched as knowledge. You guys are geniuses. You guys must be the smartest guys. This is dripping in sarcasm, right? No doubt you are the only wise people in the world, and wisdom would die with you. I'm not less of a man because I went through this pain. And he says this here, I, one whom God answered when he called upon him, a just and blameless man is a joke. But I like how he puts the warning in here. He who is at ease has contempt for misfortune. He's talking about his friends, who are probably just as well-to-do or close to being well-to-do as he was. Job was a rich man, if not the rich man in the region. But they're not going through this. Misfortune is ready and anxiously waiting for those whose feet slip. This could happen to you guys. Just so you know, what I'm going through, if I went through it, other people can go through it. What would we say about you, Eliphaz, Bildad, Zophar, Zophar? I can't remember. These names are all weird. Zophar. What would they say about you? Emmanuel said, it's crazy what length the devil goes to put Job through just to renounce our creator. But how hard did he actually have to work at this? I mean, the way that we are as people, all he had to do was, creating the storm to kill his family. That's something. Probably only had to nudge the raiders to come and take his livestock. He's got a lot to lose. And bandits are forever ready to kill somebody. So there was probably no compunction about killing his servants. Sure, putting the pox upon him, the disease, that's something. But once that domino falls, his wife loses faith. She kind of does that on her own. He just appears in front of one of his friends, and one of his friends is ready to throw him out to do away with him, to denounce him. And the other two friends didn't even need that, apparently. We are, in some ways, capable of amazing and great things, full of love for our fellow man. But at other times, we are so wretched that it just takes a nudge in the right direction to send us spiraling off of a cliff and acting just like Pharisees. Especially those of us who are feeling secure in our faith. It's easy to look down on other people. And we are so surrounded by degeneracy, sin, awful things. And there's so much to distrust in this world that it's easy for us to pile on or maybe see specters in our friends' mistakes or despair. Blade said degeneracy? I just got here. Well, look, maybe your maybe your ears were itching. All the afflictions result in isolation, and that's what he's really done. That's the big thing, Emmanuel. When we're talking about the links the devils go through, what has he done to Job, or what has he attempted to do to Job? Is isolate the man, and he feels lonely, but he knows God is there. This is a man of very strong faith, right? This is the best of us. Job, by the definition, if you are somebody who God is bragging on, you're one of the best of us. He's feeling lonely. He's feeling lonely because he feels like he's feeling alone because he feels like the power of God is set against him. And I said this last night. Job probably feels like a man standing in front of a tidal wave. That's my best visualization of how he feels. Emmanuel Osorio says hidden contempt in the hearts of men, and then the talk down from them is insane. And fair point. Like the saying goes, all we need is just a little push, and you can go insane fast. A friend of mine, well, not a friend of mine, friend of the show. He's a good guy. I talked to him on occasion. He was on the show, like I said, Billy Dyer. He came and preached at our church once, and he was talking about Joseph, and he goes, "Yo, Joseph is one of my favorite people in the Bible." So, what happened to Joseph? A lot of us try to put ourselves in Joseph's shoes. Don't. You probably aren't Joseph. You're probably one of the brothers. You're probably one of the jealous ones who wanted to kill him, who sold him into slavery, who lied to your father about it. That's probably where you land on things. I won't go through the Bible thinking that you're the hero. Assume you're probably one of the people who who was doing the wrong thing. That's why I tell everybody when we're talking about Saul's easy to pick on. He makes a lot of mistakes. But Saul is probably what most men will do if put in that position. It's sad to say. Because pride, complacency, whatever. That's in many of our Achilles heels. Also, welcome, Blaine. How's it going, sir? Veritax says Job's friends seem to be guessing why this happened, what Job did. Job actually defends the Almighty's wisdom in this chapter, and in a way, himself. They are all assuming Job must be guilty. They assume that calamity would never come to the righteous. Yeah, if God real, why bad thing happen? And if you believe God real, then you got to think that he deserved it somehow because God is just, right? Just a little bit of a nudge. That's all it takes. Now ask the animals and let them teach you that God does not deal with his creatures according to their character. Ask the birds of the air and let them tell you. Or speak to the earth with its many forms of life, and it'll teach you. And let the fish of the sea declare this truth to you. Who among all these does not recognize that all these things, that good and evil, are randomly scattered throughout nature and human life? That the hand of the Lord has done this, in whose hand is the life of every living thing and the breath of all mankind. Does the ear not put words to the test, just as the palate tastes its food, distinguishing between desirable and undesirable? With the aged you say is wisdom, and with long life is understanding. Job speaks of the power of God, but only with him are perfect wisdom and might. He alone has true counsel and understanding. Behold, he tears down, and it cannot be rebuilt. He imprisons a man, and there can be no release. Behold, he restrains the waters, and they dry up. Again, he sends the waters out, and they overwhelm and devastate the earth, just as Noah. Or all the people who laughed at Noah. With him are the might and sound wisdom. The misled and the misleader are his and in his power. He makes great and scheming counselors walk barefoot and makes fools of judges. He loosens the bonds of kings and binds their loins with the loincloth. He makes priests walk barefoot, and he overturns men firmly seated and secure. He deprives the trusted ones of speech and takes away the discernment and discretion of the aged. He pours contempt on princes and nobles and loosens the belt of the strong, disabling them. He uncovers mysteries that are difficult to grasp and understand out of darkness, and brings back gloom. And brings black gloom and the shadow of death into light. He makes he makes nations great, and he destroys them. He enlarges nations and leads them away captive. He removes intelligence and understanding from the leaders of the people of the earth and makes them wander and move blindly in a pathless waste. They grope in darkness without light, and he makes them stagger like a drunken man. Job sounds almost like he's teetering on the edge of Calvinism here. And I'm saying teetering on the edge of it is because he's sounding like God is compelling action, which he can if he wants to. He has that ability. If God wanted to make us do things and play us around like puppets, he certainly could. He is almighty. He is all powerful. He can do those things. And certainly he can strike us with the never go full Calvinism. Yeah. What's going on, Mr. Chaco? Mr. Chaco in the chat, folks. And while Job knows what's what, Job kind of knows what's what. And as a bit of a spoiler alert here, later on in this book, God is going to eventually show up. And God knows what's what. And he's going to give them just a bit of understanding for everybody and put everybody in their appropriate place. Thanks, Jocko. Just dropping in to say hi while I get my side set up. God bless you all. Have a great one, Stu. See you soon. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'll be there in about 10 minutes. Or I'll be wrapping up here in about 10 minutes. Which I need to... Well, we're going to continue to go. But what he really is illustrating here, what Job is saying, is only God is perfect. Only God is all-knowing. Only God is almighty. He can do things that we can't even comprehend. And he can make people do things that are very uncharacteristic of them, or strike them with or strike against them he overturns men firmly seated and secure. He deprives the trusted ones of speech and takes away the discernment and discretion of the aged. He can do these things. Veritek said, well, Job is saying if he was guilty, there's no reason for God to have not taken care of him already. God, in theory, has the power. That goes with the question, why not just kill me, God? Why put me through hell on earth? But now he's going to talk about his friends some more. Chapter 13, Job says his friends' proverbs are ashes. Well said, Job. That's great. That's going to echo what we've already kind of been saying as we've been going through this. I'm sure it's been going through Job's mind. Behold, my eye has seen all this. My ear has heard and understood it. What you know, I also know. I am not inferior to you. He's reiterating this. But I wish to speak to the Almighty, and I desire to argue with God. But you smear me with lies. You defame my character most untruthfully. You are all worthless physicians and have no remedy to offer. Big point there. You say I've done something wrong. You're diagnosing me with something without really studying to see what's wrong with me. And guess what? You've got no fix for it. I love that. Worthless physicians with no remedy to offer. And again, going back to put yourself in the shoes of the villains here. How often have we been doing that? How often have we pointed the finger at somebody, told them what was wrong without trying to help them, or offer them a solution? How often have we jumped to a conclusion without really making sure we know what's going on? And Job has also said, this whole conversation for the most part started with me talking to God. So why are y'all butting into this? I wish to speak to the Almighty. I desire to argue with God. Oh, that you would be completely silent, and that silence would be your wisdom. Shut up. That's what he's saying. Shut up, guys. Please hear my argument and listen to the pleadings of my lips. Will you speak what is unjust for God and speak what is deceitful for him? Will you show partiality for him and be unjust to me so that you may gain favor with him? Will you contend and plead for God? Are you guys going to be cronies? And here's the thing. I think he's setting him up. I don't know what the level of understanding there, but do you show partiality to God? Would you guys, personal question to the chat, guys listening, ladies listening, do you show partiality? Are you unjust to a person because you want to gain favor with God? There certainly were Pharisees who believed that. There certainly are Christians out there who believe that. I've got a great example of a family member who likes to kick other people when they're down so he can look better to everybody else in the family. Have we ever been guilty of that? Probably. I am sure I have multiple times. I try to be as honest and upright as possible, but I know I have in my history. Somewhere in my past. That's what he's saying. Are y'all coming out against me because y'all want to look more righteous? This man that God is punishing, we should chastise him and make up lies against him, or jump to conclusions against him because God is against him? Does that sound right to you guys? Will it be well for you when he investigates you and your tactics against me, or will you deceive him as one deceives a man? Speaking rhetorically there, I'm sure. He will surely reprimand you And if you secretly, he will surely reprimand you if you secretly show partiality. Will not his majesty terrify you? And will not the dread of him fall upon you? Your memorable sayings are worthless, merely proverbs of ashes. Your defenses are defenses of crumbling clay. I love that response. Your memorable sayings are worthless, merely proverbs of ashes. Use that the next time in an argument, guys, when somebody's bearing false witness against you. Your memorable sayings are worthless, merely proverbs of ashes. Your defenses are defenses of crumbling clay. What's going on over there? Hold on. Sorry, guys, for the dead air. I'm trying to figure out. Oh. There we go. Sorry, folks. Job is sure he will be vindicated. Be silent before me so that I may speak, and let happen to me what may. Why should I take my flesh in my teeth and put my life in my hands, incurring the wrath of God? Oh, sure, Matt. Remind me before I sign out, because I'm kind of on a roll here. Sorry. Why should I take my flesh in my teeth and put my life in my hands, incurring the wrath of God? Even though he kills me, I will hope in him. Nevertheless, I will argue my ways to his face. I love this man. I love God, but I am going down believing that I'm right. This will also be my salvation, for a godless man may not come before him. Listen diligently to my speech, and let my declaration fill your ears. Behold, now I've prepared my case. I know that I will be vindicated. Who will argue and contend with me? For then I would be silent and die. Only, O Lord, do not do two things to me, and then I will not hide myself from your face. Withdraw your hand from me and remove this bodily suffering, and let not the dread of you terrify me. Then, Lord, call, and I will answer, or let me speak, and then reply to me. How many are my iniquities and sins, that so much sorrow should come to me? Make me recognize and understand my transgressions and sin, and my sin. Why do you hide your face as if offended, and consider me your enemy? Will you cause a windblown leaf to tremble? Will you pursue? Will you pursue? Will you pursue the chaff of the dry stubble? For you write bitter things against me in your indictment, and make me inherit and suffer the iniquities of my youth. You also put my feet in the stocks as punishment, and critically observe all my paths. You set a circle and limit around the soles of my feet, which I must not overstep. While I waste away like a rotten thing, like a garment that is moth-eaten. So there you have it. Thanks, guys, for talking. I'd rather you just shut up, though. Let me talk to God. You guys are fine, just lining up to throw me under the bus, throw me to the wolves, to make yourselves look like y'all are doing his work. But God is just smart, full of wisdom, and knows why you are doing this. And what do you think he thinks of that? And what do you think, if he's doing this to me, that he's going to do to you if he knows what you guys have done in your past or are doing now? So shut up and let me talk. And I put my life in God's hands. And even though he kills me, I still have hope in him. But I am still going to air my grievances. And Job now is ready. And this is where we'll take off for the evening. All right, so what's coming up? And guys, here's the thing that I'm going to tell you guys about Job, and maybe I should have talked about this in the beginning. The book of Job is a bit repetitive. It's a lot of back and forth of people arguing their case. It's a lot of Job being depressed. So there's going to be a lot of these episodes where I'm reading that are going to sound the same. They're going to be a bit repetitive. And I apologize for that. However, that's how we learn. You practice fundamentals and you continually go over things that you know. And here's another thing. Veritex said a lot of people talking past each other and not necessarily hearing each other. I don't think Job is interested at all anyway in listening to what these guys have to say. There you go, Mr. Felty. I don't think he's interested in what these guys have to say. They didn't do this to him, and they can't restore anything to him. They don't know why God did it. They can't give him any answers. The best thing they did for him was be there for him and be quiet and just maybe listen. Maybe listen. Maybe try to comfort him. But they're so scared that he did something wrong, or they're so arrogant that they think that they have something to teach, or they are such sycophants that they think that by piling onto him, they'll curry favor with God. Maybe a little bit of all three, or probably a little bit of all three. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up tonight. Tonight's Wednesday, so that means we will have an episode tomorrow. We are going to continue on. Just FYI, next week, the next 2 weeks, episodes are going to be very scarce. Okay. I will stream when I can, but I have commitments that are going to require my attention during this time. So I appreciate you guys' patience. I know that you guys will come back. I've taken breaks. I've taken vacations in the past, and you've all been great about coming back. But just to give you guys a heads up, if I'm not streaming, what I will try to do is be more active in Discord. And Nico, if you want to share the Discord link to share the Discord link in the. Oh wait, how do I make you a mod? I don't even know. Whatever. Matt, we'll figure out some way to get you the Discord link so you can be a member of it. All right. Anyways. All right. So Mr. Felty, Veritax, Nico, El Chaco. See you soon. Blaine, Emmanuel Osorio, based Catholic. Great name, by the way. You want in on this Discord action? Sure. If you've got a locals account, just click the link. Chaco. To all you guys who were part of the chat, thank you. Thank you for your words. Thank you for your input. Thank you for your questions. You guys, like I said, chat makes the show better. And I will never stop saying that because it will never stop being true. Or at least as long as it's true, I'll continue to say it. You guys are great. Great community. We're not huge, but it doesn't need to be. Would it be better if we were bigger? Maybe. I'd like to get bigger, but I'm also happy with having you guys come in and night out. So thank you to everybody who was listening and didn't want to say anything, didn't have anything to say. Hey, I might encourage you to join the chat, but I'm just glad that you guys are finding something to listen to that you enjoy. Thanks for partaking in my content. I know I get way more views. I won't, Emmanuel. If I ever get to that size, I won't. I know I get way more views than I get people in the chat. So you guys, great. To everybody who's catching me on the replay, I hope to catch you live sometime. Follow the link I shared in the chat just now, or if you're in the Discord, find the link in the Discord, and follow me over to Mr. Chaco's channel, High Trust Low Context, and I will be streaming there for the rest of the evening. That I'll be streaming. All right. You're still broken can't super chat. And look, you've always got the Discord, Emmanuel. I can't even accept super chats yet. Anyway, so don't worry about it. All right. I'm edging closer to 500. I'm at 486. I'm almost at 500 subscribers. I feel like Blaine's gonna pass me soon. Anyway, I gotta go because I gotta get ready for this next stream. See you guys in about 10 minutes. If you guys are following me over, have a very good night and God bless.